Hey, it's Ruby. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing my April wrap up. I have my reading journal ready so that we can look at the stats page and then just so I can remember everything. But yeah, the journal's looking pretty cool. It's getting pretty filled out now. We're almost done with the second shelf, and then I have officially crossed over to the third page of this. We've made it. So I'm happy that I left myself an extra page to fill out more because I didn't think I was going to read that much, but it's a good thing that I've left myself some space. But this is what we're here for, the stats. So I read 16 books this month and I DNF'd 3, so I guess 19, but I'm not counting the ones that I DNF'd, even though I read, pretty much until halfway of some of them. I don't count my DNFs unless I like almost finished it and then I DNF'd it, but I'm not counting them for the sake of this. So 16 books, 7,499 pages, which is funny because last month I read 7,067 pages and I had read 18 books, but this month we had some thick books, some chunky books, because I finished the Throne of Glass series, and Kingdom of Ash by itself is nearly 1,000 pages, so that's why that happened. Average star rating of 4.01, so like 4 stars, 2 5 stars, 3 DNFs because we started that new series. Well, I DNF, which I might do another one of those because that was actually pretty fun and I really enjoyed clearing books out of my shelf. So might do another one of those. And then yeah, the genre tracker and page counter are looking pretty full also. I might run out of space. It's making me a little nervous, but oh well. My alphabet challenge I'm almost done with, which is crazy. So yeah, all in all, it's looking good, but let's go through all the books that I read in the month of April and see how it went. First of all, I did say in my main TBR that I had read all of the books except for the arc that doesn't come out till July. And I kind of lied. I honestly thought I was going to finish this, and that's why I filmed that with a couple days to go in the month. So I thought I was going to finish it, and I didn't. I'm on chapter 2. I just haven't really been reading these past couple days, like the last days of the month. I haven't dedicated much time to reading, but that being said, I will be reading this in May. Like, I'll be finishing it for sure. But yeah, I just thought I was going to finish it and I didn't. So we'll get to this one. And then let's visit the DNFs. If you saw the video, you know what I DNF'd, but let's recap them real quick. I had 3 DNFs in that video, which I think I read 8 books, right? And these were the 3 that got DNF'd. So the first one is The American Roommate Experiment by Elena Armas, which is book 2. First one being The Spanish Love Deception. But I just didn't care. I didn't care about these characters or the story, and I just wasn't invested. So I DNF'd that one pretty early on. I feel like I didn't even make it 200 pages. And then A Master of Gin by P. Jelly Clark. Again, I was just bored with this one. It does have the historical fiction element in here, even though it is fantasy, but I don't do well with historical fiction, and it was enough to cause me to DNF that one also. And then The Atlas Paradox, which is book 2 in the Atlas 6 trilogy. I was bored. I didn't care what was going on, and yeah, I DNF'd it. So those are my 3 DNFs that I unhauled and I listed on Pango. For all I know, these are great books, but I didn't finish them, so I'm not sure. But yeah, we have unhauled these. And now moving on to the 16 books that I did complete. I don't own 2 of them, so let's start with that one. The first one is Our Infinite Fates by Laura Steven. This was my book club's pick for April, and I was really liking this, but there were a couple of things that kind of I didn't love. Like, I was invested in the story, and then when the reveals happened towards the end, I was like, that's really cool. But we get the reveal and we don't really get much exploration of that. I don't want to spoil things for you, but that was one of the reasons that I gave this 3.75 stars, because yeah, we didn't really get that exploration. I did like the romance. I didn't think it was like the best romance ever, but I did enjoy it. I mean, the things that they do for each other, they obviously love each other, but yeah, I just didn't love it. However, I know there's people that have hated this book, given it 1 star. I am not one of those. Like, I enjoyed it for what it was. It was actually fairly short. It was only 339 pages long, so you know, that was pretty good. But yeah, not my favorite for sure. And then the other one that I don't own is Promise Me Sunshine by Cara Bastone. I had an arc of this, so that's how I read it, the ebook. And I've read Cara's other book, Ready or Not, which has the surprise pregnancy trope. I actually really like that book. I think I gave that one 4.5 stars. This one I did not like as much because it was dealing with something that I've never dealt with personally. At least not to this extent. Like, I have lost like my grandparents, not all of them, but most of them at this point. But I have never experienced grief like this, where it's like so overwhelming and so unbearably painful that you literally stop functioning as an adult. Like, she really goes into how the grief affects our main character, Lenny, and it gets to the point where she is really just not even taking care of herself at one point, and it is definitely, you know, pretty deep and heartbreaking. But also, as someone who hasn't experienced it, like, I didn't feel like that I was gonna cry or anything. But keep in mind that I don't feel emotions that way, so I feel like a normal person probably would have cried or something, but I'm not your best marker for gauging emotions in books, unfortunately. But I did enjoy the exploration of grief. I did enjoy the romance. I know that bothered some people, but I enjoyed it because it was an incredibly slow burn romance. Like, slow burn, slow burn. Like, think slow burn, it's more than that. Like, it really took the entire book, but I enjoyed that because I felt like it made sense that there wasn't the point. Like, the point was not the romance. The point was helping Lenny get through her grief and come out of it, you know, dealing with it healthily and just being able to move forward with her life. So yeah, I liked it. 4 stars for it. I don't know that I'm gonna run out to buy it, but I do recommend it. And if you see it at the store and you're thinking about it, I would pick it up for sure because it was a good book. It's just something that I personally never dealt with, so I didn't fully connect with, if that makes sense. But I think I own every other book, so let's get started with the stack because it's 14 books. But first up, I guess we can go in chronological order. So I finally read Strange the Dreamer by Laini Taylor, and I really enjoyed it. I have put this off forever. This has been sitting on my shelves for years and years. But I really enjoyed this. It's a YA fantasy book, and we follow Laszlo Strange, who is obsessed with this mysterious, like, forgotten city called Weep, and that's not its actual name, but nobody can remember what it's actually called. Like, some sort of magic has wiped it from everybody's brains, but he is obsessed with Weep, and he is a librarian, so he does a ton of research and just trying to figure out what happened. He ends up going on this journey, and yeah, I really liked it. It is definitely YA fantasy, so you're not gonna get any, you know, super spicy scenes or anything like that, but I really liked it. It's not a favorite, but I enjoyed it for what it was, and it is a duology, so I will be reading Muse of Nightmares to finish this out because the way that this leaves off, it's like, what's gonna happen? How are things gonna come together? Because surely that's not gonna stay like that, right? Surely they're gonna fix it. So yeah, I ended up giving this one 4.25 stars, and I definitely recommend it if you've had it on your shelves forever like me. pick it up because it's pretty good. Then I picked up a thriller, Falling by TJ Newman. I didn't really know what to expect with this little book. It is a pocketbook or a mass market paperback. But yeah, it's a thriller, and I think that I heard that TJ Newman just writes books like that revolve around planes. Obviously an expert about planes. So yeah, in this we follow a pilot who is presented with this insane decision. And if you're ever taken psychology or ethics, you've seen or heard of the experiment, like, or where they ask you, you know, you have a plane, a train going down the tracks, and like one way it would kill like 5 people, the other way it would just kill the 1 person. What would you do? That's kind of this situation. And yeah, except it's like incredibly personal to the pilot. So definitely thrilling, definitely a little predictable, but all in all, I still had a good time. I did unhaul this just because I don't buy a lot of thrillers, because I feel like once I've read them, and the like element of surprise is gone. Obviously I could go maybe 10 years and probably forget what actually happened and reread it, but I tend to just not buy thrillers, mysteries. But I do own a couple that have just made their way into my shelves. But I did unhaul this, not because I didn't enjoy it. I gave it 4 stars, but you know, just not really something that I see myself rereading. I definitely recommend that you pick it up if you see it anywhere. It was good. It was fast paced. Then I picked up Malibu Rising by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I own a ton of her books, and I have only ever read the 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, which I really liked, gave it 5 stars. But I've been really reluctant with this author's work because I've owned most of her books forever, and I just never really went into them because I wasn't very much into literary fiction. But recently something has happened. I've changed my mind, and I've been enjoying literary fiction, and I really like this. I felt like this was really fun, super fast paced. Like from the beginning, this is like go, go, go. And it's not because like a ton of stuff is happening at all times, but it just, the plot really moves really quickly, and I like that as a plot driven person. I really, really like that. But I feel like not only does the plot move quickly, but it's also very character driven, because we have a lot of characters. We have essentially a family, the Rivas, that we are following, and or I think it's just Riva, right? Yeah, just Riva. We are following this family. It's dual timeline, so we have the past when the mom and the dad are meeting, leading up to the present, and in the present we're following all of their children and the things that they're dealing with, and it is full of family drama, and it's it's really entertaining. And I really like that in this we follow characters like Taylor Jenkins Reid's world really is like everything's interconnected. Like Carrie Soto is back. Carrie is actually a part of this story, and she is like in this book. It's not like she just makes a little cameo or she's just mentioned, like Evelyn Hugo's just mentioned. But no, Carrie is like in this book, so I thought that was really interesting. And then somebody said that Mick, the dad, is in Daisy Jones and the Six because he's in that band. I haven't read it, so I don't know. But yeah, I really enjoyed this one. What did I give it? I ended up giving it 4 stars. I do recommend it. I think it's really appropriate for this time of year, like the summer. It does give those vibes. So clearly they're surfers, but I don't know. They spend time in the water and stuff, so I feel like it definitely gives off summer vibes. Then I picked up The Do-Over by Lynn Painter, which is part of her YA catalog. If you didn't know, Lynn Painter writes books in both the YA category and adult also. And I very much have preferred her YA books. I just love them. Like, I think my least favorite has been Betting on You, but I didn't hate it. I just didn't really love it either. It was just like, okay. But I really, really like this one. In this one, this is definitely a February Valentine's Day type of read. And I wanted to read it in February, but I ran out of time. But the reason I say that is because the main girl in this, Emily, is literally like living Valentine's Day over and over. It's like a time loop situation, and I really liked it. And yeah, I mean, essentially, we're following the same day repeatedly over and over and over. And she's trying to figure out what it is she needs to do to make this stop so that she can make it to February 15th. And so, yeah, it is a romance, a contemporary romance, and I really enjoyed it. Like, honestly, there's nothing that I can complain about. I really, really liked it. Gave it 4.5 stars. Almost gave it 5 stars, but then I was like, wait a minute. I gave better than the movies 5 stars. It's like 6 stars to me personally. And I don't think this is quite on par with that one, but it was really, really good, and I definitely recommend it. I know that in the future I will reread this because it was just so cute and fun and just everything that I love about Lynn Painter's YA books, for sure. Oof. Next up, we have these beasts. They are thick, thick books. They are heavy. I read the rest of the Throne of Glass series. I needed to read these 3 to complete it, and I read all of these in like 2 days, 3 days, which is insane. I know, because this is like 1,000 pages and these are nearly 700 pages each, but I was so invested, addicted, obsessed that I read them that quickly. I honestly can't believe it, but honestly, I think it helped that I had the audiobook because there was not a single moment that I put these down. Like, if I wasn't like laying in bed or sitting on my couch reading, I was like cooking or doing something else, and I would switch to the audiobook because I couldn't stop. I was like, nope, absolutely not. I need to finish these ASAP. And I love this series. It really is as good as everybody has said it is. I'm sure everybody knows what Throne of Glass is, but essentially in the beginning we follow Selena Sardothien, who is an assassin, and she has secrets. She is also going through it. It literally opens up with her in essentially like this slave camp prison where she's being whipped and abused, and it's just horrible. I did start with the Assassin's Blade, and I stand by that. I know some people do not agree with that, would read it third, fourth. I don't care. Like, do what you want, do what you want. But if you're gonna ask me for my opinion, I would never recommend that. I would definitely recommend to read the Assassin's Blade first. But that's just me and my personal preference. After reading the whole thing, there's no way I would recommend it any other place than at the beginning. But yeah, I really love these. I ended up rating Empire Storms 6 stars, 5 stars, 6 stars. I love this, and it is my favorite. I do have a reading vlog coming up where I finish series I'm in the middle of, and you're gonna see a lot of these books in there. But yeah, Tower of Dawn, I did not love. And it's just because I don't like Kel. Like, I don't hate him or anything, but I don't like him. I just feel like he's boring, and people have said like the growth, I'm sorry, I don't see it. Like, yes, did he have growth? Yes. But was it enough for me to be like, I love him now? No. The end kind of got me, but other than that, no. And because I don't like him, everybody else caught strays. Like Irene, someone who I should love because she is amazing, I don't love her either because she's, you know, in his vicinity, and that affected my enjoyment of it. But yeah, I gave Tower of Dawn a gracious 4 stars. It's more like a 3.75, but because I did the tandem read, it just really helped me enjoy this more. But honestly, I didn't care about anybody in here. Not Kale, not Irene, not Nezra, not Sartek, nobody. So yeah, I could have done without this one. I could have done with just giving us the information that we needed from this one and putting it in this one, and I would have been fine. Kingdom of Ash, an epic conclusion. It was great. I do think it was a little long, some parts were maybe not super necessary, but all in all, I loved it, and I did give it 5 stars because how could I not? But yeah, my favorite for sure, Empire Storms, 100%. 100%. I love Aelin and Rowan and Fenris, and I really, really like Dorian and the rest of the cadre. Like, I really like them. Yeah, it was a good time. I am sad, but now I get to go on to Crescent City. And I'm going into it with an open mind. I know a lot of people hate those books, but I don't think that I will. And if I do, I do. But I just don't think that I will. So we'll see. But I am going to start those. Then I read And Then There Were None by Agatha Christie because it was a part of my April TBR. So obviously I had to read this one. I really wanted to make it a point to read all the books on my April TBR. I already chose my main TBR, and so I just want to prioritize them because I want to continue doing those TBR jar videos because I really enjoy them. Like, I personally enjoy them. I don't know if you all like watching them, but I just get so excited to pull like random prompts, and it helps me because sometimes I don't like to make decisions. Like, it can be a little overwhelming to choose from all the books. And that kind of narrows it down a little bit. And I enjoy it because I still get to choose, but I've got a little bit of assistance. So we chose And Then There Were None, a classic mystery. Agatha Christie, the queen of mysteries. Unfortunately, I didn't love this. I didn't hate it. I didn't think it was bad or anything. I thought it was a good story, a solid story. Definitely a mystery and definitely twisty at the end with the reveals. But I just didn't love it, and it is the first mystery that I ever read, so quite literally a mystery virgin, and this was my first. I ended up giving this one 2.5 stars, which I know sounds super low. It's just not my thing. I guess mysteries so far are not for me, but I do have like cozy mysteries, like the Finlay Donovan series. I think I have the first 3 books, so I'm gonna give mystery another shot. But so far, it's just like, it's okay. I think I prefer thrillers. So I'm sure everybody knows what And Then There Were None is about. But if you don't, we have a group of people. We are following like a large cast of characters that all get called to this random house that's on an island. And they get stranded in this house because there was a little boat that like took them there. Not coming back. There's this huge epic crazy storm, and so while they're here they end up caught up in this whole thing. People start dying. We don't know what's happening. We don't know who's doing it. And yeah, mystery, but it was good, just not my thing. And then I picked up Summer Romance by Annabelle Monaghan, and the reason that I picked this up is 1, because I owned it. 2, I have an arc of her newest book that will be releasing, I don't know, soon, I feel like. So I'll be reading that. But I've read 2 of her other books, Nora Goes Off Script and Same Time Next Summer. And I was enjoying both of those books tremendously until something happened in each of those books that just pissed me off. And I unhauled both of them because I was just that angry. And so I was like, please, like, this one has to work. This one has to work because I'm going to read her latest book and I just want to go into it like with a good mindset. And I really enjoyed this one. So great news. But this one, we follow Allie, who is a professional organizer and whose life is a mess. And it definitely is. Her mom died 2 years ago and her husband just left her. And she hasn't worn pants with a zipper in longer than she cares to remember, which you would think, why would you read that? Because she brings it up quite a bit. But she ends up meeting this guy. She ends up putting herself out there and she meets this guy. Like the first time she goes out, she meets this guy named Ethan. And I think she meets him because she's like, she takes her dog to the dog park and he's there with his own dog. And they're like, hey, you know, because they're just standing around. And they end up really hitting it off and they end up meeting again. And then they actually go out and they have such chemistry. Like, she's like, wow, like, I think he likes me. But like, everything's so new to her, so fresh, because she's been with this guy since high school, I think. The guy that left her. And so, yeah, lo and behold, she realizes that Ethan is someone in her life. Like, she knows this guy and she can't believe that she did not remember that this guy is a huge part of her life. And I'm not going to say how or why because I don't want to ruin it for you, but yeah, things get a little messy and it's a short, quick read. I definitely do recommend it. I gave it 4 stars. It definitely gave me summery vibes, even though nothing really like summery happens, but they do have like barbecue outside and like dinners outside and stuff, and it just made me feel like very summery. It's literally called Summer Romance, Ruby. Like, it takes place in the summer, if that wasn't obvious. That was dumb. strike that from the record. Then I picked up another book. I think this was also from my April TBR, The Spell Shop by Sarah Beth Durst, which this is cozy fantasy, so very low stakes fantasy. And you all know, if you follow me regularly, I've been delving into cozy fantasy a little bit. Started off with Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies. It was okay, didn't love that one. Then I read Legends and Lattes by Charles Baldry, loved that one. And then I followed up with Bookshops and Bone Dust, which it was okay for me personally, even though people tend to love that one more than Legends and Lattes. And now we've made it to The Spell Shop, which I really wanted to read because I have an arc. The next book, which I think is called like The Enchanted Greenhouse or something. The cover is stunning. I mean, this one is too, but the other one, I think it's gonna have green and sprayed edges. It's so pretty, and I have the arc, which I will be reading, so I wanted to read this one first just in case they're interconnected. I'm assuming they're gonna be. Haven't super looked into it, but I really like this. It was really sweet. We follow Keela, which I don't know what type of species Keela is. We get told she has like blue skin, blue hair, but I don't know what she is. I don't know if I just missed it, but I feel like I didn't. I don't think they said it. But anyway, yeah, we follow Keela, who is literally running away from her home. She's a librarian in like the city, I guess you could say. But there is an ongoing rebellion happening, and the library she works at gets destroyed. Like, it's just a mess. So she ends up taking her bestie, who is literally a spider plant. He is a sentient spider plant. I think his name's Kaz, yeah. And it's funny because Kaz is an actual plant. Like, no eyes, nothing. It's literally a spider plant that can somehow see, talk, read. Like, what? But it's cute. Their friendship's really cute. They really do love each other. There's very much found family in here. They end up running away and going back to her little hometown, and she starts a life there. And she tries to be on the down low because of reasons. And yeah, it's really cute. It's really sweet. The found family aspect is what stood out to me the most. These people really care for each other, and it's just very sweet. I definitely recommend it. Gave it 4 stars. But keep in mind, it is cozy fantasy. So nothing crazy is going to be happening. She's like setting up her home, setting up her little shop. It's just very cutesy, you know? Then this is part of the finishing series I'm in the middle of, video that you'll probably see next week, next Friday. Enchantra by Kaylee Smith. I read Phantasma, the first one, and I liked it, but I didn't love it. I think I gave it 3.75 stars, but this was better in my opinion. I ended up giving this one 4 stars because I really enjoyed it. However, I didn't love it, and I think that the reason I didn't love it was because I didn't love our FMC Genevieve. Genevieve is a younger sister of Ophelia, who is the FMC of the first book, and I think that I prefer Ophelia because I myself am more like Ophelia, definitely not a Genevieve. And so I think, you know, that definitely impacted me. I didn't think she was like super annoying or anything like that. I just didn't love her. I did really like Rowan though, the MMC. And the thing that stood out to me is Rowan's siblings. He has a ton of siblings and they're all in here and they're all actively a part of the story. And I really like them. So yeah, I definitely think that that helped. My favorite sibling was Seven. I really liked him. And I feel like I know who the next book's gonna be about, but I'm not quite sure on the guy. I feel like the girl is obvious, but the guy, there's 2 options. I don't know who it's gonna be, but I definitely will be reading the next one. In this, we follow Genevieve, who recently lost her mother. She's just made it out of Phantasma, this crazy game situation going on in the first book. And now she's traveling in Italy because she's been exchanging correspondence with this mysterious gentleman who apparently knew her mother. And he thinks he's writing to her mother, but she's just pretending that she's her. He ends up inviting her to Enchantra, which is their like house, mansion essentially. And she goes to Italy. She goes to this house, meets the MMC Rowan, who literally kicks her out maybe 2-3 times. She doesn't listen. She enters the house without permission, and now she is stuck in this home and forced to play the game. And that's all I'll say. But I do think the stakes were definitely higher in this book than in the first one. But the first one seemed more gothic. Like the vibes were more gothic, whereas this, it wasn't. It wasn't very spooky, but the stakes were higher because people were actively dying in here. Whereas in Phantasma, in those games, they could just opt out. They could tap out and just leave the games. You could not leave here. It was either you die or you win. And so the stakes were a little higher. I enjoyed it. 4 stars for Enchantress. We're down to the last 3. I've read the last book in the Infernal Devices, Clockwork Princess. I'm not going to talk too much about this because this is in that vlog. Like I said, I did do a finishing series video, but I don't know how I feel about this. I honestly just didn't care. I didn't care about Will or Tessa. I did care about Jem, but that's pretty much it. And so I feel really conflicted because what did I end up giving this? I think I gave it 3.75 stars. My favorite was definitely the second one, but I think I am going to be unhauling this trilogy because I just don't see myself rereading it. I'm sure everybody knows what this is about because this is so insanely old. Such an old trilogy, but so beloved and so popular to this day. People love this. And so I don't know what happened with me, but I just don't love it. Like, I liked it. I enjoyed it. But the plot for me was the weakest part. I just did not enjoy the story. And as a plot-driven person, that really impacts my enjoyment. So unfortunately, as I am not a character-driven girl, the characters were not enough. I just did not fall in love with the characters. I liked Will. I pretty much did not like Tessa. I found her annoying. And I loved Jem. But they weren't enough. You know? They weren't enough for me. So unfortunately, I did not love the Infernal Devices. I'm gonna be reading the rest of them, at least giving them a shot, because I own every single one of the Shadowhunter World books, which, look it up. It's a lot. It's like, what, 15 or more? And I have them all. So that is unfortunate. Your girl used to have a book buying problem. I'm healed apparently now. I'm not, but I am a lot more mindful of what I get, and past me was not thinking. So we'll see how the rest of them go. I might end up unhauling all of them. We'll see. And then, as we all know, Fearless came out, the last book in the Powerless trilogy by Lauren Roberts. We're still getting another book, which is something I think I forgot to mention in that video you'll see next Friday. We're still getting another book, but it's just a novella. I don't know what that novella is about. I don't know who it's about. I'm thinking that it's about these 2 characters, and I hope it's not, because I just don't care. I'd rather it be about the queen from the Rando Kingdom than about the 2 characters that are now living elsewhere. I feel like that's non-spoilery enough, but if you read it, then you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, it was okay, I guess. I am not a Powerless trilogy hater, as a lot of people are. However, I do think that the books did just, they didn't all hit. They didn't all hit. I love the first book, Powerless. I gave it 5 stars. I stand by those 5 stars. I had such a good time. I really liked the novella, Powerful. I thought it was a really strong little novella. Reckless, I've said it before, it could have been an email, and it really could have. Like, it was just unnecessary. And this one, I felt like was too long. Some of these bits were unnecessary, and some things did bother me, but I discussed that all in the reading vlog. All in all, I don't regret reading this trilogy. I am still gonna keep it, and one day I'll probably reread it. I ended up giving this one 3.25 stars. I didn't hate it, I just didn't love it. And Kai and Peyton's love just didn't hit. Like, for me, in the first book, I was like so into them. Like, I thought they were so good together, such amazing chemistry. I loved Kai in that first book. I could not get enough of him. And in this one, I was like, oh my God, like we get it. Like you're getting annoying. You're getting annoying. That being said, like I said, I did enjoy it. I just didn't love it. And we'll see. We'll see what that novella is about. I'll be reading it. I will. And then the very last book that I read in the month of April, The Hotel Nantucket by Ellen Hilderbrand. Again, I think this was part of my April TBR, so wanted to read it, and I did, and I really liked it. I listened to the audiobook, which I definitely recommend. It was really good. I really liked it, and I didn't know what I was gonna think about this. I've only read one other book by this author, which was 28 Summers, which I liked, but again, there's a trope in there that I just don't love, and I think it was part of like a bookshelf ultimatum. Like I enjoyed the book, but the fact that that trope is literally the point of the book, I was like, "Ugh," and I unhauled it, even though I gave it 4 stars. Like I thought the story was good, but it just felt a little icky. But this one was so good. I really liked this. I had such a good time with this. There was a large cast of characters, but I didn't feel like it was too hard to keep up with all of them. That might just be because I'm a fantasy reader. I don't know. I didn't think it was hard to keep up with them. And I like the story. It's just like, got a little bit of mystery. It's literary fiction. I would not say it's a romance at all. It's definitely women's fiction, but I just say literary fiction. And I guess what I'll say is the story revolves around the Hotel Nantucket, which is being remodeled and rebranded and opening up for business again after having such a bad reputation throughout the years. It's said to be haunted. It's just been through like ruin. It's been through it. But this super wealthy billionaire, I think he's like a British billionaire, ends up buying it, and he hires this Nantucket native Lisbeth to be the general manager and just really get things running. There's 2 goals. He says he wants to impress 2 women. One of them is this like blogger, Instagrammer that has become like super successful, and like hotels literally like quake when they hear her name because she can like make or break their business. And he wants to get 5 keys, which is like her highest rating, coveted rating. Nobody has ever gotten 5 keys ever. And so he has tasked this bet with getting the hotel ready and open, hiring everybody, making sure everything's good to go, so that when this woman visits, they can get the coveted 5th key. And also he wants to impress this mystery woman. We don't know who she is. And we follow the hotel guests, we follow the hotel employees, and so yeah, we're following quite a bit of people. There is a ghost in here. I said the hotel was haunted, and it is, and she has her own POV in here, and I really liked it. Definitely recommend it. I think I gave this one 4.25 stars. It was good. Definitely summer vibes, perfect for this time of the year. I've been talking too much. That is it. Those are all the books that I read. I hope to, well, I don't think that I'm going to get a lot of reading done in May because I will be traveling for a whole week. I don't think I'll be reading at all. But I will be driving for literally like 48 hours. I'm dreading it. I am already dreading that. I hate driving to Texas because when I say Texas, I mean Mexico, like basically, because I'm going to South Texas from Maryland and it's so far, but we are driving. So yeah. Anyway, thanks so much for hanging out. If you read any of the books that I've read, let me know what you thought about them down below. And if you've read Cassandra Clare's books, the Shadowhunter books, all of them, some of them, let me know what you thought about them, because I, have the Dark Artifices, the, what is it called? Eldest Curses or something like that. I have the other books. I'm looking in the mirror because it's reflecting those books. The Bane Chronicles, Tales from the Shadowhunter Academy, Ghosts of the Shadow Market. the Last Hours trilogy. I have all of those left. So let me know if you liked any of those. Let me know if I'm crazy for not liking the Infernal Devices. And I did unhaul the Mortal Instruments series already. So you don't need to tell me about those because I already unhauled them. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today. As always, give the video a thumbs up. It helps the channel out. Subscribe if you haven't already and join us for more bookish content. This month we're going to be reading Guild over at the book club. So if you haven't joined us over on Fable, it's always linked down below. Free to join us. Definitely do so if you haven't already. And I'll see you next week with another one. Bye.